Hello and welcome. My name is Brenda with Sea Bright Spirit. Today I want to offer you a yoga practice that supports the root chakra. So the root chakra is our connection to the earth. It really shows up in our body through our hips, our legs, and settles just down at the bottom of the pelvis, around the tailbone, the perineum, that energetic and physical connection that we have downward. The root chakra shows up as support in our life. It helps to create stability in our body and really helps us on an energetic level as well as we feel that connection to the earth, to the world around us. So in this practice today, I really want to invite you to bring your awareness into that root chakra. We're going to do some stuff to support the legs, support the lower part of the pelvis, and really create stability and awareness in this part of our body. So for the practice today, you might find it helpful to have a blanket. We're going to do some stuff that might be better to have a blanket or pillow underneath your knees, and then also maybe a set of blocks to support you if you find that would be helpful. I'm currently sitting on a bolster, but we won't necessarily be seated for very long. So as you're ready, we're going to start by just bringing ourselves down onto our backs, okay? So allow yourself to get settled, and you can have your legs stretched out, or you can also have your feet flat on the floor, okay? Whatever feels best for your hips, your lower back. Then as you're ready, just let your arms rest along your side and just take a deep breath in through your nose, sigh out through your mouth. Feel the backs of your hips grounding, the backs of your heels, your shoulders, your head. Feel that connection with the earth beneath you. Just let your body be received by the earth. And gently check in with any thoughts in your mind, set them to the side. And draw your mind's attention into the sensation of your body. Feel that connection with the physical awareness of your body. The breath naturally moving through the body. Each exhale settling you a little bit more into the floor, into that earth's cradle, into your space. Feel the support of the earth beneath you. How the earth grows our food, the earth provides our shelter, all those ways the earth supports us. And just find ease in that moment here. We're going to start by bringing our feet and placing our feet flat on the ground. I want you to find the edges of your mat and let your body, feel your whole spine just lengthen out along the floor. Feel that support of the earth. With an exhale, roll your knees to one side. It doesn't have to be big. Inhale across and exhale to the other side. And we're just going to roll the knees from side to side, feeling the low back, the sacrum, down towards the tailbone, just releasing side to side, and then feeling into the front of the hips as you move to the side, noticing how that feels through the hip flexor, down through the leg. And see if you can connect your movement with your breath. Exhaling to one side, inhaling across. Arms maybe separate a little bit from the body so that the knees, or the hands aren't in the way of the knees going side to side. And if it feels good, maybe pause and take a deep breath, just feeling a little bit of spaciousness down into the pelvis, into the legs. Relaxing the legs into the earth with your exhale. And then inhale over the other side. Take an extra breath there. Relaxing with the exhale. And then inhale, coming back up to center. Now stretch the legs out again. Let's reach the arms overhead. Just stretch the body out, lengthening fingertips to toes. Feel the whole body here. Big breath in, stretching. Exhale, relaxing. Let the elbows soften. Let the body soften into the floor. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Stretching out the whole body, fingertips to toes. And exhale, let the elbows soften. Let the feet fall apart. Now when you're ready, you're going to just roll over to your side. And we're going to come up to all fours. So let's just take a moment to connect with the parts of the body that are connecting to the earth here. So the hands, the knees, the feet. Let's start by just rotating the right wrist and creating some openness in this wrist joint so it can support the body more. Move both directions with it. You might feel a few little creaks and cracks. Press that hand down. Spread the palms, spread the fingers comfortably, and try and ground to as much of the hand as you can. Take the left hand, do the same thing with the wrist, circling, opening up some space in that joint, all the joints of the wrist. And then place that hand down, spread the palms, spread the fingers. Okay? Now with the upper body grounded here, feeling that support, take your right foot out behind, circle your ankle, spread the toes a little bit, feel into that ankle joint and all the joints of the foot. Both ways. Still be aware of your breath here. And then drop your toes to the mat and just lengthen a little bit through the back of that leg. Maybe a little pulsing into the heel, into the bottom of that foot. And then bring that knee down. Take the other foot, circle the ankle, move both directions. And then dropping the toes to the floor, just doing a few little pulses there as well. Right. Now, as I mentioned, it might be helpful to have something under your knees. So if you have a pillow or a blanket or something, just slide it under the knees to support us as we move through a few floor movements. All right. So from here, I want to just circle the hips. So really focus your awareness in your pelvis and begin to circle the hips around, warming up the hip joints. Connect with your breath and draw your awareness deep in your pelvis. So that feels. Switch directions. So the sensations change. And then just sink the hips back a little bit, just over top of the knees. Take the hands forward and come into a little puppy stretch, opening up the shoulders, but really leaning the hips back. The head might just come between the arms, or it might rest on the floor. You can even put a block down to support your head if that feels helpful. Just take a few deep breaths, really relaxing into the pelvic floor, lifting those tailbones, bones back, sit bones back, and lengthening through the torso. Couple deep breaths here. Relax. Feel the belly drop. Soften. As if your breath reaches deep back into the tailbone. One more breath here. Belly soft. Hips relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Feel that connection with the floor with the hands, and then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Now let's grab a block if you have one, or a pillow even works. Just put it between the thighs. I'm going to do a little cat and cow movement here, engaging a little bit through the inner thighs and lifting a little bit through the pelvic floor as we come into cat, and then relaxing and opening as we do cow pose. So inhale, let the tailbone lift, drop the belly, relax through the inner thighs and lift the crown. So you feel a little engagement through your back there. Then exhale, squeeze the inner thighs, curl the pelvis in, draw the pelvic floor up and in, the belly up and in and around to the back. Inhale, tailbone lifts, crown lifts, relaxing through the pelvis. And then exhale, squeezing gently that block, the lower belly, the pelvic floor. Just move with your breath here. Inhale, relax, exhale, a gentle engagement. Nothing too wild, just feeling that support building. Let's do 2 more. You might notice some areas feel a little bit more stronger to engage. Some might feel a little bit disconnected. That's okay. Just notice your body. You can work with it. And then come back to center. Set the block to the side. And then ground through the hands here. Let's turn the toes under, lift the hips up and come up into downward dog. Take some time to really connect with the earth. Feel the hands ground. Spread the palms, spread the fingers. Begin to pedal the feet out, really like you're digging your toes into the earth, opening up the backs of the legs. Feel that connection to the ground, that support beneath you. And then lift a little bit through the tailbone, sink the hips back, open the backs of the legs and the shoulders. Just pause here for a couple breaths as you feel into your whole body. And then from here, we're going to drop the left knee to the floor, step the right foot between the hands, and come into a low lunge. Now this is where it's helpful if you do have some blocks. If you don't, you can always use a couple of books if you've got some hardcover books, or you can just bring your hands down to the floor if it feels like you can reach that, okay? Make sure you're supporting your body in a way that feels helpful. Make sure your ankle is underneath your knee, and ground that back foot out behind you. Feel the toes ground to the mat. You can even curl the toes under if that feels better. Lift through the crown and lean the hips forward, feeling into the back of that right hip, front of your left hip. Let's connect with our breath. As if the breath is reaching deep down into the pelvis. And then with an inhale, we're going to shift the hips back, opening up the back of that right leg. Exhale, come forward. So move with the breath here a few times. Inhale back, let the toes curl back a bit. Exhale forward. Let's do 1 more with the breath. Exhale forward. Feel into the front of the left hip as you do that, and then inhale back. Lengthen down the back of that leg, curl the toes back, feel the whole length of the leg and fold over that leg. So you get a nice deep opening in the back of that right leg. Pause and breathe. Feel your body. Now with your next inhale, you're going to come back forward. You're going to ground through that front foot. Now you might need to bring the foot back a little bit if you feel like your ankle isn't underneath the knee anymore. This is where it might be really helpful to have something underneath your knee. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift that back foot up off the floor. So you might just hold it and lift it like that if that feels all right for you. But if you can, you're going to use your left block and you're going to take your right hand and reach for that foot if it's accessible. You can also use a strap if you can wrap a strap around that foot and then draw it towards you. So this is going to stretch out the front of that left hip flexor, the front of the left thigh. Keep pressing the right foot to the floor for stability, lifting through the crown. And there's just a gentle twist through the torso here to support this. So just pause and breathe, feel into the leg. And again, if you can't reach it, you can always just pause and hold. This is really good to strengthen also the hamstring. So just drawing that foot in as you can, or even doing a few up and down if that feels all right. But that can be a little hard on the knee to move it really, to move that leg a lot. So notice what works for you. Listen to your body, make any adjustments to care for your body. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Really grounding through that front foot. Feeling into the front of the left hip. Good. And then release the foot. Sometimes I like to just kind of roll my knee to the side to bring that foot down, just depending on how sensitive you are in your knees, all right? Set the blocks to the side, bring that right foot back. Let's just sink into a little child's pose for a moment. Sink the hips back, reach the arms forward. Just take a breath here. Breathing and relaxing into the pelvis. Let the belly drop between your thighs. Another deep breath here. And then inhale, come up, bring the knees back underneath the hips, wrists under the shoulders. We're gonna curl the toes under, lift the hips up back into downward dog. Ground those feet with the earth, ground the hands with the earth. Feel that connection. Deep breath here. Now we're gonna drop the right knee to the floor, bring the left foot between the hands, come into low lunge again. Grab your blocks if you have them, set yourself up, feel that connection with the earth, the back foot grounding behind you, front foot underneath the knee, lifting through the crown. Relaxing into the pelvis. Connect with your breath, and then with an inhale, you're going to shift the hips back. I like to bring the left block back with me, so I have one block back. Leave the right block forward, and just move with your breath. Inhale back, lengthening that leg gently. Keep the knee slightly bent. Exhale forward. And when you're ready, sink back, hold, pause. Fold those toes back towards the face, flexing the foot, and then let the upper body release over the thigh. Maybe close your eyes, tune into your body, make sure you're supporting yourself with your hands, your arms. Deep, full breath. On an inhale, bring that left foot back forward. Set the left block to the side. Keep the right block with you and adjust that foot so it's underneath your knee. All right? Now stabilize yourself with that left foot grounding. You're using your right block for support and then lifting up the back foot. Feel that hamstring engage to lift that back foot. Rolling a little bit onto the top of the knee. And then if you can, reach for that foot. If that's not accessible, again, just meet yourself where you're at. There's no judgment here. Couple deep breaths. Feeling into that front of that hip, down that leg. And inhale, release the foot. Find a way to draw that knee back down, maybe rolling to the side. Good. Set the blocks to the side, bring the left foot back, sink into your child's pose. A deep, full breath, in and out. And then as you're ready, inhale, ground through those hands, bring the knees under the hips and turn the toes under, downward dog. Noticing how it's maybe a little bit easier to land in this posture, third time around. Supporting your hands, grounding to the whole palm, not just leaning all the weight into your wrist, really spreading that weight out, grounding through the feet.
Deep breath in and out. Then walk your feet towards your hands. Come into a forward fold. Okay, let the knees bend, let the belly rest over the thighs, and just lengthen a bit through the hamstrings, through the sit bones. Releasing the spine forward, maybe give the head a little release. Deep breath in, sigh out, and then bend the knees. Now as you come up here, really bend the knees. Try not to roll the spine out. Try to really use the legs like you're lifting something heavy. Pressing to the floor, keeping that back nice and long. Notice I'm not rounding my spine. I'm sticking my tailbone out. I'm lifting, coming up slowly, pressing the floor away, lifting the hands to the ceiling, lengthen. And exhale, bring the hands down beside you. And just pause and stand in mountain pose for a moment. Maybe release a sigh, feel your feet grounding. Feel your ankles, your knees. Try not to lock your knees. More stability when we have just a little bit of a bend, just a little bit of a softness to the knees. Feel the pelvis, your spine, your shoulders, your head, all the way out to the fingertips. Now from here, we're going to come into a warrior one. So keep your right foot forward, take your left foot and just take a step back with it. Doesn't have to be really, really far. Okay, you want to stand on 2 ski tracks so you're really grounded. Back toes are turned out just a little bit with that hip. Bend your right knee. I want you to really feel like you're drawing your energy in towards your pelvis. So you're drawing into the lower belly, the pelvic floor, a little bit of engagement through the hips. That knee at least over the ankle or maybe a little bit back from it. And then inhale, take the arms up and just relax through the shoulders. Find a single gazing point out in front of you. Connect with your breath. Warrior one. Stable, strong. Considering the ancient warriors, feel into that embodiment of what the warrior means to you. Then inhale. From here, exhale. We're going to come forward into a warrior three. So you can just come straight forward and balance over that right leg. Lift the leg up, take the arms out to the side. Okay? Reach through the heel and balance here. If it's helpful though, if you need a little extra assistance, you can grab your blocks, use the blocks for support and just lift that left leg up and back. Make sure you have a bend in your standing leg, ground reaching forward. Really a posture of strength in the back of that right hip. Couple more breaths. Take the leg down whenever you need to. And they're just going to bring that left foot beside. Fold forward. Breathe into the back of the hips. Release through the spine. Couple breaths. Good work. Now same thing when we rise here. We want to bend the knees. We want to imagine we're lifting something heavy. We're really using the legs. So we're engaging through the glutes. We're keeping the back nice and long. We're reaching to the sky. Rounding through the feet. Exhale, mountain pose. Pause, check in. Maybe release a little sigh, release the effort. Stable within, stable mind. Tuning into your experience. Tuning into your body. All right, now we're gonna bring the weight over the left foot. We're gonna take that right foot back. Standing again in warrior on the other side. So we're on 2 ski tracks. Left knee over the ankle. Right foot turned out just a little bit. Stable through the legs, the lower belly, the pelvic floor. And then inhale, arms up. Find that gaze out straight in front of you. Like the warrior has his eye on something. Connect to that stability, that courage. And of course, that primal instincts of the root chakra. Right now, again, as we come into Warrior 3, this is really about creating your own strength and stability. So you're going to bring your weight over top of your left foot. You're going to balance there maybe, if that feels all right for you. Take the right leg up, flex the foot, arms out to the side or forward even. And then if you need to, grab your blocks. Make sure you're really grounded through that left foot. Keep the knee a little bit bent for agility and stability. Connect with your breath. Find strength through the back of that left leg. Trying to keep the hips flat. Try not to lift your right hip up in the air. Try and keep the toes to the floor and just reaching that leg straight back. Exhale. Bring it down when you're ready. Forward fold. Release the upper body. Let go. Deep breath. Bend the knees. Rise up one more time. Strong legs. You can do this pressing the floor away, lifting that heavy item up into the air, and then coming into your mountain. Close your eyes. Feel your body head to toe. Maybe release this and exhale. Release the effort. All right, now we're going to come into a balancing pose. So we're going to do tree balance. So starting on your right foot, bring your hands to your hips, find a gazing point just a little ways, maybe 8 or 10 feet out in front of you. Bend your standing leg and then bring your left heel into your right ankle. Okay, relax a little bit in, root through the foot into the floor, lift a bit through the crown, and then you can place that foot on your ankle, on your inner calf, or you can bring it all the way up to the inside of your thigh. Just don't press it against the knee, okay? But there is a slight pressure between the bottom of the foot and wherever it's touching on the leg, okay? Knees open to the side, try and keep the hips steady, lower belly's active. You can keep your hips or your hands on your hips. You can bring your hands into prayer. You can take the arms up. Make the tree your own expression here. Okay, tune into your body. Keep the breath flowing. If you need something like a wall or something to hold on to, use that support. Remember, we want to feel supported in our root chakra. So this isn't about pushing ourselves farther. This is about creating stability. So notice how you can meet yourself in that stability today. And when you're ready, you're just going to release the arms down, take that left foot, walk the feet out. Good. All right, now you're going to ground through the left foot, bring the right heel into the left ankle, standing a little bit, bend in that standing leg, rooting down, lifting to the crown, and then placing that foot again wherever along the inside of the left leg that works for you. And then we're gonna bring our hands maybe into a different posture. Again, whatever works for your body. Keep your breath flowing smoothly, keep rooting down and like you're growing taller through the crown of your head in this tree posture. Keep the hips steady. Notice how the center of my weight is over top of my foot. Okay, center of my torso is balancing. Good. And then when you're ready, release the foot. Walk out the feet. Beautiful. All right, notice how you feel, head to toe, a deep breath. Let's take the feet wide. Toes towards the long edge of your mat. Heels are a little bit open, so it's almost like the outer edges of your feet are somewhat parallel. We're going to fold forward here. So bring your hands to your hips, ground through the feet, lengthen through your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees just a little bit. Take the tailbone back and feel like your fingers are folding into your hip crease. So right at the top of the thighs, lengthen through the spine, tailbone reaching back, crown reaching forward. We've got length down the hamstrings, and then slowly bring the upper body forward. You can bring your hands to the floor. You can grab a block if it feels like you need that extra support. And again, make sure that the knees have just a slight bend in them. So we're supporting that hamstring release. We're not just shutting off the legs. Keep the legs active. Fold and hold. A few breaths. Release the spine, low back. Release the head if that feels all right. And with an inhale, walk your hands towards your left foot. Bend the knee, and you're going to get a nice stretch through the right inner thigh. Hold for a breath. Then inhale, walk your hands over to your right foot or the other foot. And pause there. Keep the elbows on the inside of the knee. Okay, so we're keeping the upper body on the inside of that leg, and the nice stretch down the inner thigh. Again, moving with the breath, keep the feet grounded. Keep the upper body nice and long. Try not to round a whole lot through the upper body. Use a block if you need to, if it feels like the floor is a long ways away. And we're just going to move a little bit from side to side, lengthening out the inner thighs. Do one more on each side. Nice deep breath. Notice how that feels. And then come back to center. Hands to the floor or on blocks. Just gonna heel toe your feet a little bit closer together, but not really, really close. So they're about shoulder distance apart. We're gonna come into a squat or garland pose. So the toes are about 45 degrees. You're gonna sink your hips down. Now, you might just bring your elbows to your knees and just squat there. That might be enough for you today. If you can, sink the hips down between the thighs. Maybe you wanna stay with your hands on the floor. Keep your elbows on the inside of your knees if you can. If you can, bring your heels right down and squat there. Do that. Bring your hands into prayer. Draw the knees apart and really sink the pelvis down. Keep the back nice and long. Deep breath into the belly, into the pelvic floor, really relaxing there. This posture is really good for digestion and elimination, which is another function of the pelvic floor, the root chakra. Take a deep breath here. All right. And then to get out of this pose, you can just sink your hips to the floor, or you might want to take your hands behind you and slowly, gently bring your hips down. All right, you're gonna lie down onto your back. And keep your spine lengthening out along the floor. Bring your knees into your chest and just take your hands alongside your body. You might curl your hands a little bit underneath the pelvis if needed for some support here. You're going to take your legs straight up in the air. Now we're going to work a little bit of the lower abdominal support here, and we're going to work a bit of the hip flexors as we do a leg drop for our core stability. So inhale, take your right leg and reach it out. It doesn't have to touch the floor. And then exhale, bring it back up again. Inhale, reach the other leg out. Exhale, bring it back up. We're just gonna switch legs. Inhale, slowly and gently reaching out. Try not to rush yourself. Exhale, come back up. Nice and smooth. The slower you go, the more stability that's created, okay? The more stability is required even, okay? Moving side to side, keeping the low back rounded against the floor. Once you've done a few of the single leg drop, if you feel like you want to try both, you certainly can. Just make sure that as the legs come down, the low back stays grounded. Keep the legs long and then lift the legs back up again. And this isn't a rocking in the pelvis. This is a stabilizing through the pelvis, keeping the back grounded. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, lifting. Good. Maybe a couple more, either of the double leg drop or single leg drop. Meet yourself where you're at. And then just draw your knees into your chest whenever you feel complete. Good. Relax the belly. Deep breath into the belly. Soften, give yourself a little hug on the exhale. And then bring the feet to the floor. Good. Now we're going to bring the feet back wide on the mat, just like we did when we started. Bring the arms wide, and then inhale, exhale. Take the knees to one side. Get that nice stretch through the side of the opposite hip. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale over the other side. Noticing how that feels. Inhale, center. And as you bring the knees over to the first side, we're just going to hold this time. So you might even take your opposite arm and just reach that arm out, palm open, opening through the shoulder, down that side of the body, all the way through the hip and down into the knee. If you need something under your knee there, put a block or something underneath the knee, but just breathe into the front of the left hip flexor, down that left thigh. You might even place your hand there to help guide your attention into that front of the pelvis. Couple more breaths here, twisting just gently through the torso. The wider the feet are, the better this works. And then with an inhale, slowly bring your knees back up to center. Good. Roll the knees over the other side. Take the opposite arm wide. Maybe place the opposite hand on the front of the hip. Breathing into the front of the pelvis. Down through the hip flexor, down through the thighs. Relaxing through the knees and the feet. Your attention should be in your body. Good. One last breath here. Bring your knees back up to center. Good. Bring the feet back together. Feel the spine lengthen out on the floor. Take your right leg, cross the ankle over the left knee and create a window there with your thigh. So the knee opens to the side. You're going to draw that leg in. You can reach for the back of your left leg if that works for you. I like to just take my left hand to my right foot, bring my right hand to my knee, or just hold on to my shin and just draw the knees, or draw that leg inward, getting a nice deep opening in the back of your right hip. Relax through the shoulders, relax through your head, feel that support along your spine. Left leg can just relax. And breathe into the pelvis. Now, as we breathe in, the diaphragm draws down and the belly expands, and you might even feel the pelvic floor relax and open a little bit. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, the belly softens, and the pelvic floor draws in just a little. So maybe sense that in your body here. As you breathe into the back of that right hip. One last breath. At the end of your exhale, take the left foot down, reach the right leg up, lengthen, draw the toes to the face, lengthen the back of that leg, take a deep inhale, and then exhale, take that leg all the way down to the floor. And once it gets there, just give it a little shake. Let it go from the hip all the way down. Bring that foot flat. We're going to take the left ankle over the right knee, create a window, flex the foot a little bit, draw those legs in. Again, noticing how it feels good to kind of support your leg. As you draw it in, relax the right leg a bit. Just supporting it with the thigh, drawing the left foot in, and that external rotation deep in your left hip. Breathe into the back of the pelvis, down into the belly, expanding a bit to the pelvic floor, relaxing with the exhale. The pelvis and the root chakra really is a space in the body that needs both stability and rest. So there needs to be balance within this chakra as we continue to explore with our chakras and balance. But balance in the root chakra is being able to relax, but also engage through the perineum, even through the muscles of the pelvis, where there's times to engage and then there's times to just relax. So holding the legs here, hopefully your thigh or your left hip isn't really feeling like it has to do a whole lot of work to be in this posture. You can just relax into it, take a couple more breaths. And then as you exhale, take that right foot down, reach the left leg up, lengthen through the leg, reach through the heel, deep breath in, and then exhale, take it all the way down to the floor. Give it a little shake, let it go. Now for relaxation here, if you want, put a pillow or something underneath your knees or underneath your thighs to support your low back. If it feels all right to just let the whole body sink into the floor, do that. Maybe let the arms separate from the body, or if it feels better to just rest your hands on your body, that's okay too. Make sure you're comfortable and that you feel safe and supported. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just let your body sink into that support of the floor. Let go of all effort, maybe give a couple little shakes, a couple little releases to make sure you're not gripping or holding anything in your body. You just want to settle into a gentle relaxation here. So again, another deep breath in, maybe release a sigh, letting your body know it's time to rest. And just feel your toes relax, feel your feet, space around your feet, relax your heels into the floor. Feel your calves resting, the backs of the knees, the tops of the knees resting. Relaxing your thighs, relaxing your hamstrings, all the way up into the hip joints. The glutes relaxed, the pelvis grounded, the tailbone grounded, the pelvic floor relaxed, the lower abdomen resting. See if you can sense your breath drawing down into the pelvis. Relaxing the belly, feel the spine settled, supported, the upper back, the back of your heart grounded against the floor. The breath natural and effortless. Feel into the shoulder blades grounding, shoulders relaxing, the backs of the arms, the elbows, the wrists. Feel the hands relax, the fingers. Relax the muscles of your neck, let your head feel heavy, grounding the back of the head against the floor. Let the earth just gather your worries, your anxieties. Let her care and
manage things for you. Let her hold you now. You are made of earth. You're of the earth. Be one with the earth here. And from this place of just gentle stillness, inner quiet, tuning into yourself, your being, noticing how you feel physically in your body, how that's resonating emotionally in your body, perhaps even supporting clarity in your mind. When you're ready, begin to reawaken your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking a little stretch or drawing your knees into your chest or both. Maybe rock a little bit, again over the lower back, and then roll over to one side, whichever side calls you right now. Rest your head on your arm. Take a moment to feel this transition. Feel that support of the earth, this restful state. And then slowly bring yourself back up to your seat. Maybe grab a cushion for a moment if you have one, or just sit comfortably. And then just close your eyes for a moment, centering within yourself, feeling your body supported, open, and really grounded. Notice again your state of being. Connection with yourself, the connection to the earth, the connection through your root, your legs and feet. And bring your hands into prayer, taking a moment of gratitude for all that you have. You're a part of this earth. She supports you, she holds you, she offers you what you need in food and shelter. Honor your right to be here. Be one with the earth. Respect her, love her. Thank you, mind, body, and spirit, for this practice, and I thank you for sharing yours. Namaste. Thank you for taking part in this root chakra yoga practice. If you have any questions or comments, please do reach out to me, Brenda at seabrightspirit.ca. And I look forward to practicing with you again soon. This root chakra practice supports you in building up into the rest of the chakra system in practices that will follow. Thank you very much. Take care.